And I still get a lot of questions about what is actually the Add1 challenge and what do you get from signing up. So we're going to go over it today and just basically from start to finish what you get. And we're going to talk about some of the success stories that have been on Add1 challenge so far. So first of all, Brian, take us back, how did you start it and what was the vision?
Well, how I started was, good question. So basically, I did my own challenge, 90-day challenge, to learn German, to speak with my father-in-law, ex-father-in-law now. But I couldn't find motivation, and I was already living in Austria at that time for a year and a half, and I resisted learning German. But after like a long hike with my father-in-law and my Julia, which is my previous wife, and he was just so great. Like, like it's when an in-law welcome you in the family graciously with open arm. I just felt like, wow, what a great man. I want to be able to speak with him in German because he can't speak a word of English. So after that 9 days hike, I told myself, okay, I need to learn German. So I started researching and doing it, trying to learn some German to speak with my father-in-law. So my goal was to be able to hold a 15-minute conversation in the end of 90 days. And if I don't achieve this goal, I would need to wash his toilet for a week. So that was my punishment. It's quite harsh, and I did everything I could to avoid it. So I documented the whole thing and made it happen. And during that 90 days, I was posting my updates on Benny Lewis Fluent in 3 Months forum, and this guy named Byron John, he was living in New York at the time, and he was learning Mandarin, and we started about the same time. And every time that when I wanted to quit, I would read Byron John's update on how he's doing, right? And then every time I read his update, like I would like, wow, someone is going through the same thing as me. I'm not alone, and he's going through the same struggles, and he's also, oh, he made a little victory today. I know, I'm happy for him, and then give me inspiration. And after I complete that 15-minute conversation with my father-in-law, I sent Byron John a message and say, hey, Byron John, thank you so much for posting your updates because it really inspired me. And he basically wrote me back right away. He said, Brian, what are you talking about? I was reading your updates when I wanted to quit. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, wow, how cool is that? So I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if we, as a community of people, learn to hold a 15-minute conversation in 90 days together as a community so we can support and motivate each other toward this goal. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be fun? And it would be a lot more easier than doing it alone. So that's how I started the Add1 challenge.
Perfect. That's really cool. And I love that you were kind of doing the first, I guess, unofficial Add1 challenge was just two people, motivating each other. That's so pure in a way, because isn't that one of the hardest things? Well, I would definitely say it's one of the hardest things about learning a language, staying motivated and keep working at it. So I can definitely understand that. And so when you say learning how to have a 15-minute conversation in 3 months, obviously that's a little bit ambiguous as to what does that exactly mean. Do you like when people sign up to the Add1 challenge, what kind of, I guess some people need a little help in staying motivated, first of all, and also maybe they need some help with what they should be doing. So how do you structure that when people join the Add1 challenge first as let's say a beginner and they're not quite sure?
So when people join, when people sign up, there's an application process before they even allowed to join, because the community what we talked about is very important. So we have an application process that people make a video to apply and saying, why they want to join the Add1 challenge and what they're taking on, creating a punishment. So there's a structure of it. So once they apply, so everyone who applies has to create a weekly goal, basically, meaning that, okay, every day I'll put in 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's my weekly goal. So we don't really, because every language learners are different. You learn differently, Chris, compared to me, and I learn differently to Benny Lewis, right? So what we encourage people is that once you create that weekly goal, you just explore and experiment what works best for you, because most people don't know what works best for them. And so one of the biggest things that people get from that Add1 challenge is the discovering, experimenting what works best for them, and also, of course, bouncing ideas from people in the community of how they learn best. And we exchange ideas and things like that, and you get inspiration from it. So
Right, that's really cool. And wanted to just add, sorry, just wanted to interject that the application video in itself is actually, some people might not know this, that if you record yourself saying you're going to do something, it's at the chance of you actually completing it goes up tremendously. I think the stats from the italki challenge, they run those challenges that are, they're not like the Add1 at all. It's more like a personal, get as many tutoring lessons as possible in a short amount of hours. I guess a good combination maybe for an Add1, but they definitely don't replace each other. But the cool thing they did was, like, if you recorded a pledge video, the success rate was over 50% of people actually completing it. And if you didn't record a video, it's like 22%. So your application video is, I see it works as a, you don't want people who are not serious, but also it helps the people who are serious even more.
And guess where they got the idea from?
Does it say underneath, like, credit for being such idea?
Of course not, but definitely before it's very clear where to get it from, because I talked to them, and as I said, as you said, italki and Add1 challenge actually go hand in hand. So do the italki challenge, because the goal is to be able to hold 15-minute conversation at the end of the 90 days, and if they can get some free credit from the italki challenge, why not, right? So I totally recommend it, and I created that way with the video, with the motivation and accountability structure in mind. That's why I have people do it.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that, because people, I mean, people just need help with that a lot, and I definitely understand, and I think the psychology is really amazing. So with the Add1 challenge, it's been going on for a while now. You're getting up to, what's the number, 12? Getting up.
The next one will be 12.
That's a lot of Add1 challenges.
Last time when we talked. Yeah.
So what has changed over the years?
The last time we talked.
What's changed? What have you
What's
changed any in the sort of how it's run, or have you made any improvements to the process, or did you pretty much hit it right off the bat?
No, actually, the last time we spoke was Add1 challenge number 4. So we're now at Add1 challenge 12 right now. Or next one will be Add1 challenge 12. So a lot has changed, and every Add1 challenge we will implement whatever we learn from the next one to the next one. So it's been amazing, like how basically with their 90 days, right? So what I do something here, I can see how the effect will go on. Does it make sense? Like, basically, for example, one new thing there's so many new things I added since we last talked. One thing is the study group and the mastermind group. That after people sign up, we will group people down in smaller groups. For example, the mastermind group, so that they don't have to learn the same language. But what their job is that every week you touch base with each other on what you learned that week, and then what you are going to work on the next week. And people start and I can see that people, because I read a lot of these chats, and we can see people supporting each other, and it made a big difference in them staying on course with the 90 days, their 90-day goal. So that's one small thing. Another really cool thing that I really, really proud of is that since Add1 challenge, since earlier this year, we give away 1 free flight ticket to 1 winner of the Add1 challenge. And so the first person who actually we gave away the flight ticket to is this kid his name is Jake Brown, and he's 14 years old. And he lives in Australia, and he was learning Mandarin. And so I remember very clearly, before he joined the Add1 challenge, he emailed me. He said, "Brian, I'm 14 years old. Am I eligible to join Add1 challenge?" And then I said, "Sure, if you win, as long as your parents pay for everything else, because all I'm going to cover is your flight ticket, all right? I'm not paying for anything else." So, and then I make sure your parents read it. And then so he said he brought me back. Yes, okay, all right, no problem. And then he won. And then so this past summer, he went to Beijing, China, with his mom. And he got, of course, just imagine you're a 14-year-old, you learn a language for 90 days, you're able to hold a 15-minute conversation, and then right after you can go to the country to practice speaking with the natives, eating the food, you know, getting to know the culture, and open his eyes basically of like how he see the world.
Right. It's amazing. Yeah. How did you choose actually? Because I suppose everyone is in the race from the beginning. So how did you choose at the end that Jake should get the ticket?
Yeah. So I put in a lot of thoughts in it to see how I can make it fair, because it's really hard to make it fair. Like, how do you choose exactly? So the best way that I come up with, and it's been working great. We gave away 3 tickets already, and everybody's happy and everybody's supporting each other. There's no bad vibe or anything like that. And so basically how we do it is there are 3 rounds. The first round is that everybody who completes the minimum requirement of the Add1 challenge automatically qualify to move to the second round. So the first round is just to fulfill the minimum requirement, which is making the day 0 video, day 30 video, day 60 video, and the day 90 video. Tracking sheet, which is, you know how the weekly goal that I told you about, that everybody has a weekly goal. Whenever they finish their work, they need to go to this tracking sheet and say, yes, I did it. No, I didn't do it, or I'm taking a break. So if they all they have to do is to have a 90-day of tracking. I don't care if it's 90-day break, 90 days of break, or 90 days of nay. If they actually complete 90 days of something, that will fulfill that task. And then they also got to participate in mini challenges within the Add1 challenge. The mini challenges are things that will help you to move toward the 15-minute conversation, like finding language partners, creating sentences, speaking, and stuff like that. So that's finished. That's qualification for round 1. So we have a group of people. And then round 2 is that everybody who's in the Add1 challenge has 3 votes. And only people in the Add1 challenge can vote. So the 3 people who gets the most vote move into round 3. So in this way, so it's not to the public, it's only people in the community, which means that you need to participate. You need to contribute, because if you never say anything in the group at all for 90 days, who's going to vote for you? Nobody. And you can't vote for yourself.
That's genius, yeah.
So this is to encourage people to contribute and to comment and to help each other out. And I see this, when I saw this in the beginning, maybe people are just wanting to contribute to actually get to know people, but people naturally just want to start to help people. And it's really great when you see the interaction in the community. And round 3 is that, so now we have 3 finalists, right? So now what I'll do, I'll contact 3 polyglots and look at their journey of these 3 people, of why they joined that Add1 challenge, the day 0, day 30, day 60, day 90 video, and also what they got out of the Add1 challenge. And they will look at these 3 people's profile, and these 3 polyglots will come up with a unanimous decision of who wins. And once we have the winner, we will the 3 finalists and the 3 polyglots and me will go into a Add1 challenge finale Google Hangout, and we'll broadcast it live of who wins the Add1 challenge.
Cool.
And so we have 2 episodes, right? So all you got to do is go to Yahoo, not Yahoo, Google, or YouTube. I don't know why I said
Yahoo. Yeah. Welcome to the
side over. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and type in Add1 finale, and you'll see how we do it. And usually everybody is cheering each other up, and everybody's so happy that the winner won, and it's a great energy and great vibe that everyone's happy.
I can understand.
So
that's a very democratic process.
Yeah, I'll think it's pretty fair, and it's been working really well, and everyone's happy.
Great. So
to see the winner.
Is Jake's Jake's progress the most progress you've seen during an Add1 challenge, or do you have any other participants that that stand out as having performed exceedingly well?
So Jake is when he made a lot of progress, and actually after he came back from Beijing, he entered a Mandarin speaking competition that he won.
Wow.
So Jake is only one of the many people who, I mean, there's so many that people get, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you are able to put in the time consistently, you get results.
Right.
But that's the hard part. That's the hard part, and that's what the Add1 challenge. That's the problem that Add1 challenge solved, so that you don't feel like you're alone, and you get motivated and supported by the community. And so many people, I mean, Jake is not the only one. For example, the second person who won the Add1 challenge, her name is Nikki, and she's 72-year-old.
Wow.
Learning a language called Kumaji, which is a dialect of Kurdish, which is a very rare language of. So what that means is that she was having a lot of trouble of finding materials, finding language partners, right? But she still won the second, and when it's the second time we gave it up, because of how she was. And let me just give you an example. The mini challenge number 3 is a talking mini challenge, which means that you need to speak with people, and we basically break people down in small teams, and they need to record. So for example, I practiced speaking with a language partner for 30 minutes, and I could put 30 minutes in my team spreadsheet, and then so whichever 10 minutes wins this mini challenge. Because she was having so much trouble of finding language partners, what she did was she's living in Albania right now. She traveled to Turkey to find people to speak, to practice to practice speaking.
Wow.
And so that she can help her team to win this mini challenge.
That's pretty dedicated.
So that's pretty. And she's 72-year-old. Remind you, she's 70. She's awesome. We love her. She's so yeah. So because of the hard, so hard to find. So she actually didn't get that much progress in the first 90 days, but she did another Add1 challenge right away in Kumaji. So by the end of the second Add1 challenge with her Kumaji, she can speak good Kumaji for 15 minutes at least.
Wow. That's impressive.
And yeah, it's amazing what people can do.
I love the width of Jake being 14 and basically just a kid, and then you have what was it, Nikki, knowing that language learning can happen at any age. If you think
Totally.
age is a restriction, then that's just a myth. So and what a cool kind of also showing the width of the community that participated, because then you have obviously everything in between as well, from the college undergrads to the professionals to the lawyers. You've got everything in there. And
totally.
Diversity really helps everyone to learn better and stronger. All right, so that's cool. I think we've kind of covered. Is there anything about the structure of the Add1 challenge that you think we missed that people might be interested in?
I think that's pretty. We cover the accountability tracking sheets. We cover the mini challenges. We have assignments, and I think the best thing of all is the people who are in the Add1 challenge. If you watch some of the videos, because we have so many testimonial videos, we don't even know what to do with them. Almost everybody say that the community really made a difference. That's one of the reasons why we're the application process, and people who joins are great, and it makes a difference, because just like doing anything in life, if you go to a yoga class in a group of people doing yoga together versus trying to do yoga by yourself.
Yeah, anything really.
It's a completely different. Yeah, anything really. It's a completely different experience. And so that's really what I think that's part of the magic of the Add1 challenge. Why it works is because we have such a great community of people.
Cool, awesome. And I guess we should talk about our upcoming event here for Black Friday, the Halloween, no, what is it called? Thanksgiving, isn't it? Post Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, Halloween was last month. Forgive me. I'm not so good on the American cultures. In Denmark, they're very suppressed and people don't give a shit about them. So, but anyway,
No worries.
because of this motivation, and obviously I know from personal experience that you're very committed to personal development, to motivation. So I know this is really your area. So when we were talking about what we could do to help people out there, the idea of teaching people, helping people to get more motivation in general
Mm.
really struck a chord with me, because as anyone who's ever read my blog or listened to any podcast episode, they will really remember how much I really complain about being terrible at finding the motivation to actually go and do some studying.
Mm.
So what we decided to do is a webinar, because they're all the rage now, and they're a very good way to present a topic. So Brian and I are going to present about the secrets to overcoming problems with motivation, and we're going to do a little bit. Obviously, Brian is the expert, so I won't bother him too much, but I will add my own little 2 cents here and there. And do you want to take it from here when we're going to do that?
Yeah. So I just want to say a little bit about basically the topic that it's called the 3 secrets to epic motivation, effortless studying, achieving any language learning goal. And these 3 secrets are what I learned from more than 800 people who've done the Add1 challenge what I got from. So, and it does work. This is not a bold claim. I mean, it is a bold claim, but it's not an empty claim. So so that's what we are going to talk about. At the same time, at the end of the webinar, we can have a Q&A. You can ask us a question directly. So I think it would be great. It would be great, and it would be a lot of fun. So we're going to have the webinar on November 27th.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have the time written down?
Yeah, it starts at 8 a.m. in California and 11 a.m. New York, and that will be 4 p.m. London, where I'll be. I'll be at a company Christmas party. Well, not at the Christmas party. That would be quite rude to just sneak off to the back and start doing a webinar. But I'll be in London, so that's 4 p.m. if you're also in the GMT time zone. And for the rest of the Europeans, that's 5 p.m. For Berlin and Budapest, Prague, all these lovely cities. I don't know about going further east, but I hope the people have a concept of when it is now.
Yeah, so all you need to do is to click on the actualfluency.com/@1. So go on that page. You'll be able to find your time zone. There'll be a button for you to find your time zone. So don't worry about the time. And then all you got to do is sign up to join the webinar.
And set an alarm for it if you have to. If you're napping, you need to get up.
Alarm on your calendar.
Of course, you have to be determined. And yeah, we're going to talk about that, and obviously also talking about the next Add1 challenge, and giving people a chance to get hyper motivated ahead of the challenge, and hopefully we can achieve some good stuff there, and we'll see what other good stuff we can offer people, right?
Cool. It'll be an amazing webinar.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So all you gotta do is click on that link.
Actualfluency.com, Add1. You got it?
Actualfluency.com/@1.
Exactly. And be there or be square, right? That's what they say about that quote. Was actually about this.
Oh.
It was not anything else. It was about not missing Add1 webinars. But yeah. All right. Well, I'm really excited, and as just speaking from a personal standpoint, I took part in a very early Add1 challenge. There was probably 3 or 4 when we talked. I took part in that one, and being the terrible with motivation and accountability that I was not doing as much as I could. So if anyone is considering doing the Add1 challenge, I really encourage you to do all the tasks, all the steps that Brian and his team will give to you, because they're not there to annoy you. You know, they're really trying to help you get more shit done, basically. And if you just kind of take a very relaxed approach and just, I'll do it sometimes, you know, you'll fall behind, and then suddenly you lose the motivation to even keep up going. And you know, for me, that was what happened. And I saw the difference between Add1 3 or 4 or whatever, and I also did number 9, I think, or thereabout. And unfortunately, I had to move countries in the middle of it, and I couldn't keep it up at all. But that was my problem. But I really saw a huge difference in what you and your team have created now. Whereas back then it was a little bit rudimentary. You know, there's a lot about the community, and you were kind of just assisting whenever possible. But now you're taking a lot of initiatives, and I see the community is growing just great because of that. So good job on really taking it to the next level, right?
Thanks,
and I hope
man. Thanks, man.
welcome. And maybe I'll join up for one in the near future if time
That'd
permits.
be awesome.
I have to
That'd be
get rid of
awesome.
these 50-hour work weeks though first. I have to admit, but once that's done, then I'll be there. But for everyone out there, you know, I hope to see you on the 27th. Add1 actualfluency.com/add1, and that's about it, isn't it? You know, we've covered all the
That's it.
topics we wanted to cover, and we haven't rambled on for hours like usually happens. So thank you for coming on and talking about what the Add1 challenge is, Brian. I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Very welcome. Always, anytime.
All right, Chris. See ya.